Hey, Mr. Clint, how you doing, sir? My name's Lightning, or Mel Gibson, I guess, as I am in your class. And anyways, I didn't get a chance to introduce myself at your play back in October. I went looking for you, but nobody could find you. I'm sure you're backstage or something. So, but anyways, it's been a great time in your class, sir, and I'll just go ahead and zip through this. I'm looking at my phone. This has got like the outline of the topics to discuss. So as you know, my research paper, I did the research paper on Phantom of the Opera because it was the only play that I had actually watched, like big production play that I have ever watched, and that was last year. Me and my wife, we came to New York and we were just touring around, and we were just doing all the touristy things and going to Broadway and looking at a show was on the top 10. So it was between Lion King or Phantom of the Opera, and we just chose Phantom of the Opera. And we went, and not knowing what to expect because I've never been to any play ever before, and so it was pretty awesome. Maybe just because I went in there with an open mind, I didn't have anything to compare it to, but I thought it was great. So yeah, that's the name of the play. The playwright is Andrew Lloyd Webber, and it says also, what was the reason that I chose a playwright. It was simply because of the play Phantom of the Opera. And when I was reading about Andrew Lloyd Webber, it said that he was like the wealthiest. It brought up the top 10 wealthiest musicians in all of history. And it was like Jay-Z, and then it was I think it was the lady from back in the 80s, this really wealthy, really popular, I forgot her name. But anyways, on the very top of the list, everybody was like 500 million, 600 million. And then there was Lloyd Webber at $1.2 billion. I was like, what? That's crazy. $1.2 billion. That's his net worth. And so I started reading about why he was worth that much and how he accumulated that much money and through his companies and how he set up his licensing, and basically just gets residual income from every aspect of the play. So, here in New York and in London. And short synopsis of the play is so Christine, she's the main character, and the Phantom, he's the other main character, and she's part of this play in the opera in Paris, and the opera house in Paris, and so she's working on her career and stuff, and when she meets the Phantom, he starts teaching her how to sing, how to get better, and at one night, the lead singer of the play, I forgot what happened, but the lead singer, there was something wrong with her voice that night, and somebody convinced the playwright of that play. They convinced him to let Christine sing, and she had been practicing and whatnot. And so after that night, she became a star because she had been practicing with the Phantom. Phantom had really taught her really well, I guess, and she just killed it. She was doing great. And anyways, in the whole process, her and the Phantom, they fall in love, and while she's falling in love with him, her childhood friend that she was in love with comes back and watches her in the play, and she meets him. Now she's torn between the Phantom and her childhood friend, and but the Phantom, he gets really jealous and kidnaps her. But in the end, he actually lets her go, and lets her go to her childhood friend. I guess he was just being a good guy. So, let's see. Also, that's the playwright's why I chose to play. Impact the playwright had on his time. Andrew Lloyd Webber, especially that time on Broadway, I read that plays were a lot shorter And I remember when I went and watched it, it was so long. We was sitting there and it was awesome. I loved it, but at a certain point, I was starting to get really hot, and I was like, man, this is a long freaking play. Well, he kind of started that trend, I guess. I guess plays were shorter before that, and also it was kind of dark, and it made other playwrights not afraid to experiment with darkness in their plays. So that's what the effect the play had on me. I would say me and my wife, the music in the play was like incredible, and especially with the lighting and how they pair the music with like the events. I mean, seriously, some of like the climatic points, like my heart was like jumping with the beat of the music, and still to this day, there is one part where the Phantom comes out and he's on a boat and he's like rowing with Christine, and he's like singing, and it was intense. And so we still to this day we'd just be sitting there hanging out with each other, and then my wife would be like, "Hey, you know what?" And I'm like, "What?" And then she'll start mimicking the beat of that play or the song at that point in the play. It was like dun 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 dun. I mean, it was powerful. So I guess that's the last thing, the effect that the play had on me. So, but anyways, I think that's all the topics covered. All the topics you wanted us to cover. And it was a pleasure being in your class, sir. Good luck with you and everything else you have going on. And hopefully I get to watch another one of your plays. I'm in New York right now, actually, but I'll be back in Florida soon. So good luck with everything, sir. And thank you for everything in the class. Have a good day.